Now I'd like to apply some of the skills we've learned in this chapter to this part of our project. Here on the first floor, let's zoom in to where we have the wall going through the column. And I want to manipulate this wall so that it has a variety of different properties associated with it. First, let's take a look at this wall in a section view. So underneath the View tab on the ribbon, select on Section, click once, come straight down, click again. That's created a section through the building in this location. With the section symbol highlighted, right-click, and then go to View. We've now created a section throughout not just that room, but the entire building. But if we zoom in toward the bottom of the screen, just by spinning the wheel of our mouse, we can see that column. We have the wall that's actually back here in the distance, and then the furniture, which is right in front of where the wall is located at. Now, the first thing that I want to do is actually add a door so that we can get into this space. So underneath the Architecture tab, we can go to Door. We can choose any of these doors that we wish off of the type selector list, but I'm going to choose the single flush 800 by 2100. And then we can move this door into place. I'll move the door to right about here, so it's 300 off of the other wall, and then click. Then hit Escape a couple times on the keyboard to get out of the door placement command. So now we officially have a door leading into this space. Next, other than just this door here, I want to put a big opening over here so that we can look into the kitchen. In order to put the opening in, underneath the Architecture tab, we can come over here to Opening, and we have the option for a wall opening. Click on Wall. Move your cursor down toward the bottom of the screen, and then when you see the wall highlight, just like my wall is highlighting, and you'll need to be down toward the floor in order for this to occur, click. What that's done is selected that wall that was drawn in. Now, click once right about where I'm at here, hold your mouse button down, then come across and create a nice big opening. Make it be about 900 off of the floor level, so somewhere around here. We can always adjust it later if we needed to. Click. Now we can see that we're looking into the kitchen area, and we have a nice big opening looking into that kitchen area. The next thing I'd like to do is paint a material along this wall. I'm going to hit the Escape key a couple times on the keyboard to get out of the command. Now I'm going to need to select on the wall itself. Now, if we highlight on the opening, you'll just see the opening turn blue, but without clicking on anything, hit the Tab key on the keyboard. You should see your entire wall turn blue like that. Now you can click in order to select on that wall. Next, in the Modify Walls, we now have the option to do the Split Face tool. Select on Split Face, move your cursor down, it'll sort of highlight on that wall. Click on the wall itself. That says that we are going to be using the Split Face tool on the face of this wall. Next, let's do the split face at about, let's say 1,000. We could do it at 900 or whatever elevation that you feel comfortable with. I'm just going to leave it at about 1,000 because it's easy to get to at the moment. I'm going to click, come straight across, go all the way on across the wall, and then click over here. I'm going to hit the Escape key a couple of times. Now I'm going to select on that line, and I originally said this opening was going to be at about the 900 mark, so I'm going to click on the little 1,000 that shows up over here after clicking on the line, and I'm going to type in 900, and then just click somewhere in here, and now we can see that that line is just about even with the bottom of our opening. Next, click on the big green check mark to finish the Split Face tool. Now come up to Paint. Click on the little paint icon, and then I invite you to choose any of these materials that you want to off of the list. I'm personally going to look for a material that I think will look pretty nice along the wall, and that could be any material that you'd want. In my case, I'm going to be a little bit odd and then pick this Herman Miller veneer. It's a walnut. With it highlighted, I'll move over here, and then I'm just going to assign that material to the bottom half of the wall. I'll click here. It's now assigned that material to the bottom half of the wall. It's a little bit hard to see that material is there because we can't see any of the colors. So I'll move my cursor down here to the Visual Styles button. Click on Visual Styles, and then you can either do shaded or realistic. I chose realistic. Since this Herman Miller veneer walnut is still selected, that means that command is still active, which means I can then click. In this case, I accidentally selected on the top half of the wall, which I didn't mean to do. So I'll come over here and just click on the undo command in order to undo that last thing. Now I want to continue to add paint to this split surface of the wall that's going across the bottom here. So once again, I'll come up here to my paint tool, make sure the Herman Miller has been selected. Do my best to make sure that the bottom half of the wall is now selected and click. There we can see it's now applying that material here. Once again, the bottom half of the wall there. Now, I really don't want my wall to be blue, which is what it appears like it may be. Maybe not. Maybe if I hit escape, it would be white. But I'm going to pick yet a different material. This gypsum wallboard material will work great. So I'm selecting the gypsum wallboard material, and then make sure to select on the top half of my wall. Click. And now we can see that we have that white material up above the brown material that's down below. So we now have a doorway, an opening looking into the kitchen, and then materials applied to each of these surfaces. And since there's materials applied to each of these surfaces, if we decided to turn this into a drafting view or just turn the colors off, it would also be possible for us to tag each one of these materials and have it automatically generate tags for us. Now I'm going to hit the escape key a couple of times. And now the next thing I want to do is go into a floor plan view. So we'll double click on first floor, go here to the View tab on the ribbon, select on the Words 3D view, then pick Camera. And we'll take a picture from the inside of this area. We'll take a picture from this corner, so just click once you get into this corner here. And now make this big blue cone come out to right about here. So that you know anything that's inside of the big blue cone, that's what will show up inside of the picture that you take. Click. Here we can see we've got the door, the different materials. We're looking into the kitchen area. And then finally, if we come back down to the Visual Styles button, we can then turn it on Realistic to get a better, more realistic view of the space that we've created.